Now, as you know, the endless debate as people are ripping themselves in half about net zero, do we keep it, do we get rid of it? It's a little bit of a Goldilocks question for some in Parliament right now. And we know that renewables only is apparently the better option, the one that only Australia is obsessed with delivering, no matter how many other countries are saying, yeah, we might need some backup, like things like, I don't know, nuclear. And we have people who are, of course, pushing said policies who, when asked about the benefits of them, won't answer.
Will the Minister confirm that the government will meet its renewable energy target of 82% by 2030?
I can absolutely confirm it is this government's intention to continue to work towards that target in 2030, absolutely. And I'm pleased to tell the honourable member that we are making very good progress towards it. It is 2025 and we are working towards that 2030 target and we're making good progress.
Now remember, it was them who decided to put the 2030 target into law. So what happens if they are going to be in breach of their own law? That's right, nothing to see here because it's them. Remember, there is another big step about new climate targets that kick in for 2035. These will all be much closer to a teal and green worldview than the one that was able to squeak through at the 22 election. And of course, yes, get reaffirmed in the 25 election. Hence why they didn't tell anyone. A little bit like when they were talking about keeping the internet safe for kids. It's only about keeping the internet safe for kids. It's not about telling you that every time you have to log on to something the government deems to be potentially a little bit naughty, you're going to have to tell them who and what you are. But more on that in a moment. But believe it or not, there is a country that is always considered to be more progressive than Australia, always considered to be the light on the hill, the one that we should replicate. Remember when it came to same-sex marriage, they did that first. When it came to a GST, they did that first. When it comes to the New Zealand government delivering what the Australian government wouldn't, we are constantly told there is a better way. And I love New Zealand. I look forward to, can we somehow do an Our Town in New Zealand? Why not? It's a good idea. Lots of people watching us a little bit later at night there. We love you. Well, of course, their government is no longer a lefty government. It's a centre-right government. It's one that is a minority government and is propped up by other parties that push them into more common sense positions. So all of those lefties who have said, we must do it because New Zealand does it, are they going to follow the decisions that have been made by the New Zealand Parliament? Because as we know, the government is slowly moving away from the declarations of net zero. And as the Turnbull Times was tearing up today, the New Zealand government votes to bring back fossil fuel exploration in a major reversal. Let's steel ourselves here. What's happened? In 2018, the Jacinda Ardern-led Labor government banned the granting of new offshore oil and gas exploration permits as part of its plan to transition towards carbon-neutral future. Yay, amazing. But on Thursday afternoon, the ruling right-wing coalition, voted to reverse the ban after the third and final reading of the Crown Minerals and Amendment Act, a move it believes will alleviate energy shortages and high energy prices. And it didn't just squeak through. It got a pretty big majority, 68 to 54. Speaking about this, let's compare the pair. You have the Australian Climate and Energy Minister in old mate Bowen, who is making promises that even he is now openly saying, probably not. Well, the oh-so-woke land of the white cloud, what are they saying here about why they need more oil, more gas? Because, quote, the ban sent a chilling message to the investment community, halting the very exploration that underpins our energy security and leading directly to the supply constraints and price volatility that we see today. This man could be making a speech in an Australian parliament where he would be booed down. Thankfully, he's in a parliament that can do something. And he means, yeah, sure, we'll keep going with the renewables, but you need to put stuff underneath it. In times where renewable production decreases, sun and wind, it is clear that we need contingency options to ensure that Kiwis are not left footing bigger bills and to ensure that we have sufficient supply. Now, you know how often they talk about New Zealand should be a state of Australia? No. What about the New Zealand government gets to take us over for a couple of years? Maybe just a year, just to settle a few things straight. And all of those people that have been handed award after award after award for saying, New Zealand, it's the way everything should happen, they, of course, are all silent now. So may I take up the mantle and say a little more New Zealand common sense, a little more Kiwi common sense in the way that we are running things here in Australia. Perhaps not a bad idea.